What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another top 10 video. We'll be counting down the top 10 strongest female characters from the Dynasty Warriors series. In my opinion, these are going to be the top 10. I think that if they win against each other one-on-one, this is my pickings for who I think would come out top. Before we jump into it, we always got an honorable mention to start off with, and that's going to be Miss Diao Chen, the OG Dynasty Warrior female character herself. I think she's a good pick for the list. I don't think she's going to break the top 10 because Diao Chen's less of a fighter, even with the weapon style she's given in the games. Less of a fighter, less of a confrontational warrior versus scheming in the background, planning what she needs to do and letting the dominoes fall where they may. But I wanted to include her. I think she has some really good movesets in the game. Dynasty Warriors 8, they did really good with her whip moveset. The maces were okay in the earlier games, but when it comes to her fighting style and the way she is depicted, I don't think she is of that fighting kind of style. And with that being said, let's go ahead and count down the most badass women from the Dynasty Warriors series, the strongest ones. You know what we're doing. Let's go ahead and jump into number 10. Starting off with number 10, we've got a newcomer for the females, one of the newest female additions to the game, and that's going to be Miss Xin Xiangying. So Xin Xiangying in Dynasty Warriors 9, not a lot of content, not a lot to go off of, so this is a lot of implicit things along with her weapon style. So she'll be given like the little axe moveset in Dynasty Warriors 9. It's a pretty devastating moveset. I think she wields it pretty well in the games. She's got her little cutscene as she's, holding it, walking through the people, getting them to raise them around. It seems like she's well endowed with the weapon, and I feel like she would put up quite a fight against most people, but because we don't know much about her, she's gonna fall here at number 10 for me. So just her in-game depiction is what's putting her here at number 10 for me, and that's all I have for her. Coming in at number 9, we've got one of the most supportive, and just from the external look, she's just a loving kind of character. But I think if you pushed her, I think she can throw some hands, and that's going to be Miss Lian Shi. So Lian Shi, she had some moments in the games where she shows off definitely her bravery, her courageousness, and she has that attitude where if she had to fight and protect the one she loved, she's going to throw them up. She's going to have no problem going toe-to-toe with anybody who threatens people under her care.
I will slay any who threaten those under my care.
I wholeheartedly believe that Lian Shi is one of the strongest characters from the games. Crossbow's not my favorite. It is a good weapon style for her. The duck hooks are all right as well, but weapon styles aren't too popular for me. Like I'm not going to use them, but I think they're decent weapon styles. I think she's going to have a better time against like Xin Xiangying and Diao Chen and anybody else who didn't make the list. I'm also going to give experience to her. I feel like Lian Shi is going to have a little bit more experience being a bodyguard, and that's why the Mommy of Wu is here at number 9. Next up, coming in at number 8, it's mainly her playable characteristics that's bringing her into the list, and that's going to be Miss Yue Ying. I can just imagine Yue Ying going into battle. She makes some like makeshift invention that turns into like half a transformer, and she's got like this half juggernaut arm that shoots fire and stuff. I could just see her doing that. Anyway, the dagger axe for her, really well done. Blade bow was nice. I think it's a decent weapon for her. I think she would use it pretty well. But similar to Xin Xiangying, I think because she has that longer dagger axe, that longer weapon, and she wields it so well that I just think she's gonna put up quite a fight. Dynasty Warriors 5, they give a nice little moment for her in Zhengwei, but she's wielding it like no problem. And then her being an inventor and stuff like that, she's probably gonna have like extra things around her helping her out. Maybe, like I said, she builds something for her to like suit up in and stuff. I could just see her doing that, being the Iron Man of Dynasty Warriors. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have. Is gonna be, her playable stuff that's bringing her into the list for me personally. I think Yue Ying is a badass character. She's not someone you want to mess with, and she's a good choice here at number 8. All right, next up coming in at number 7, similar to somebody we've already mentioned on the list, we have another bodyguard, Miss Jing Sai. Similar to Leon, sure, I think they have similar qualities. Jing Sai is not as motherly or like, I can't say as caring, but like not as warm. Right, Jing Sai is more monotone, especially after her change from her Playable debut. But she's more monotone. She's more like serious than I would say Leon sure is. And then, of course, if you put that into protecting people and fighting and stuff like that, she's got the armor on. She's got the sword and shield. She's got a really good chance about anybody that she fights. She's going to be doing pretty well. So I don't really have any quarrels putting her up here. I don't doubt her skills. I mean, she was training Liu Shan, so that says something to that. I think Zhao Yun trained her a little bit. I mean, she's got some really good teachers and seems to have a natural talent for fighting. That's why she's a bodyguard in the games, right? So Jing Sai for me, I think it's a great choice here at number 7. There's not much I got for her. I mean, that's pretty much it. I think she's a solid choice. Let's go and move on to the next one. Now, coming in at number 6, we got arguably one of the more popular characters, or at least female-wise, from Dynasty Warriors, and that's going to be Miss Guan Yin-Ping. Daughter of the God of War, she's going to be strong, and the gag that they give her in Dynasty Warriors puts her kind of above the other one. So Guan Yin-Ping has this like superhuman strength that she can carry around a giant mace that's twice her size and fly with it. Like, she's just flinging it around. So definitely don't underestimate her strength. Even with her older weapon, I think she had some decent movesets. It wasn't my favorite style or anything like that. I'm not saying the mace is either, but I think her swinging that thing around is going to be hard to fight. Jing Sai did well with it, which I think is also a good reason that she was up here. But I think she would pose a problem for anyone, especially anyone below her, and even people above her. I think she would fight pretty hard. She's not like covered in armor or anything like that, so she is vulnerable and susceptible to damage. But her weapon style and the way she is depicted in the game is monstrous. She's got that Sakura strength. So Guan Yin-Ping is going to jump in at number 6 for me. Let's go ahead and talk about my picks for the top 5. Now, coming in at number 5, one of the few female characters from the novel who actually, I believe, was part of a battle, and that's going to be Miss Wang Yi. I believe she helped her husband defend the spot they were in before being driven away or something like that, and then he ended up getting captured. I don't remember the details specifically, but I know she was part of a battle. I don't remember if she won specifically any battles, but she is among the few that actually participated, and that's going to land her a spot in number 5. Her depiction in the game, I think, also aids to that. She's got, I think in both games, she's got armor on, right? She's got her weapon styles. The hoops, the wheels aren't that great, but I like the daggers. I think the daggers are great for an assassin. And then the Trishulas, I think it's great. And I think she's a hell of a force to be reckoned with. Very athletic, you know, she's got a lot of aerial movements and very quick. So she would be tough to beat, you know. She's got a lot of martial arts background from the movements that she had in Dynasty Warriors 8. Dynasty Warriors 9, I didn't notice too much of it. It was more grappling than actual martial arts movements. But she had like certain kicks and stuff and movements that resembled somebody who trains really well. And because she's depicted in the game to be so gung-ho on vengeance, I'm sure she trained relentlessly. So starting off our top 5, I think it's a great choice for the vengeful Wang Yi. Go ahead and move on to the next one. Coming in at number 4, we've got another she's an OG to me. She's been around so long. She's not the OG, but I mean, when I think of Dynasty Warriors women, she's among the top, and that's going to be Sun Shang-Zhang. When it comes to a boisterous attitude about going into battle, Sun Shang-Zhang is among the top. She's always ready to fight, always down to go to battle. Doesn't matter who's in front of her. She is ready to fight, to prove to people that
Who says a woman has to be weak?
so that constant attitude and behavior is going to just push her on to be even stronger than your normal character in the game. She doesn't have any feats in the novel or anything of that nature. She was known in history to be intimidating. You know, lady guards that were padded up in armor, and they had a certain aura about them that was kind of intimidating, which I'm sure emanates from the leader, Miss Shang Jiang. So I don't think she's somebody you want to take lightly. I think in the game they depict her pretty well. I think she's great with her chakrams. The bow fits her as well. And I'm sure if she's on the battlefield, she's going to be switching between both of those weapons and proficiently using both of those weapons. Definitely among the best warriors when it comes to the females in the Dynasty Warriors game. And that's why she's here at number 4. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I think she's a badass character. She definitely would hold her own against most. And yeah, she's here at number 4. Next up, coming in at number 3, another, to me, OG female character. We've got Zen Ji. Zen Ji is similar. She's got that cold, calculate. I mean, she's got moments in Dynasty Warriors 5 where it's like, oh, damn, she's not somebody you want to mess with. The flute, I think, is a good weapon for her. In terms of combat, it's all right, because of the magical abilities that it has. It definitely aids her in that. But I think because of her, the way she is, right, even with the whip, whatever it is, she is like out for fighting. Like, she is there to not necessarily, I wouldn't say prove, I wouldn't say she's like Shang Jiang in that. I just think that she knows she's badass. She knows she can, kick ass, and that's kind of what she carries when she fights or when I see her in her cutscene. And that's why she's breaking in my top 3, because you just can't have that without having the skills to back it up. She's also a very intelligent person, not saying everybody else on the list isn't, but she was noted to be extremely intelligent. Now, you give her the personality she has in the game and the training and martial arts skills that you assume that they have in the games, that's a deadly combination for a foe. So no matter what weapon you give, I think she will use it to her advantage. She'll understand the weapon, make it a part of her, an extension of her own body, and she'll absolutely put up a fight against anybody in front of her, male or female. And that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the runner-up for the strongest female character in my opinion. Next up, coming in at number 2, shouldn't be too surprising when, her father is a monster, and that's going to be Miss Lu Lingqi. So I thought about it, she has similar qualities to like Jing Sai, right? Sword and Shield, and then she had Lubu's weapon in Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends. And I'm like, okay, the weapon in Extreme Legends definitely gives her a bump up. I think she definitely poses a big threat. Sword and Shield, I think she does well with it. I think she has enough training to understand how to use it and move and put things to her advantage. The main reason that I thought of putting her up here so high is because she picked up Lu Bu's weapon and slung that thing around like it was nothing. Because I think she says that he never really trained her, and she picked it up like nothing. So that means she has a natural talent for martial arts, weapons. She's going to be well gifted at what she does and a force to be reckoned with. She's got armor on her, not going to be easy to pierce. Not saying she's not vulnerable because it doesn't cover her whole body. But Lu Lingqi, I think, is one of the most ferocious characters from this game, and I think she would come out on top against most of the female characters from the game because of the training, because of where she comes from, because of the weapon she's given. And I don't have much else to say about that. Daughter of Lu Bu is going to go far in a match, and I think she's going to do really well against most of the characters. With that being said, let's reveal my number 1 pick. Shouldn't be too surprising to see her here at number 1. If you've seen other videos on the channel, you might have already known this. But number 1 for me is going to be the Queen of Nanzhang, Miss Zhu Rong. Zhu Rong is the only character in the novel, the only female character, who has successfully attacked other officers. Granted, they're NPCs, they're not like super popular or anything like that, but she beat them and she captured them. Alright, she's the only character that has that feat in the novel as a female character, and that immediately trumps her over everybody else. In the games, she's got the similar personality to, Zen Ji and Shu Jiang. She's one of the OGs for me. but she's got that boisterous, confident, intimidating presence from her person. I mean, she intimidates her own, Meng Huo. Meng Huo's like huge. That's a big dude, and she's like making him scared. So she has that ability, and it would be very interesting to see her and Zenji go at it, or her and Lu Lingqi, or her and Shang Zhang, and it would be quite interesting to see who would come out on top of that, because they have such similar personalities that they're not going to want to be beat by the other person. And Zhu Rong is so gung-ho about that, so strong about that I think she even defeats some of the male playable characters in this game. That's pretty much all I have for the list. Zhu Rong is an easy number 1 for me. Boomerang is a good weapon for her. She slices through people. She's got the fire Musos, and she's got a nice kit in most of the games. So that's going to be it for my list here. Top 10 strongest female characters based on what I believe about the characters and how their training would be and what they're shown in the game and all that. So yeah, Zhu Rong is number 1 for me, and I don't think that's going to change unless they give somebody some crazy backstory that just triumphs over top of her. But that's all I have for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about my list down below. Who do you think the strongest characters in terms of the females are? And that's all I have, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.